Welcome back. Sorry, didn't mean to mess you up there. That one was the last one you just watched was part 4. This one's part 5. I know. I'm gonna go as quickly as I can here. Okay. So book of the week: Moon Knight #1 by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. The team who has most recently brought you Scarlet, which is another series, which is a series that I love, and they also worked together on Bendis's run on Daredevil. That was kind of split, some split work there. Bendis was also working with David Mack for a little while, but Maleev was kind of like the primary artist. And they helped to, their run on Daredevil together was like one of the definitive runs. I think it was the possibly a tie for the second most influential run in Daredevil. #1, of course, being Miller's run back in the '80s. Going back to the late '70s and through the '80s, and then. Of course, also Ed Brubaker and Michael Lark's, amazing, tremendous, work of perfection. Moon Knight has seen several incarnations. This is now, I believe, the 5th Moon Knight title that has come out since the character was created back in the early 1970s. Because there was Moon Knight, the original series. There was, then that became, in the early 80s, that became Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, kind of a little bit of an overhaul there. And then that stopped, and then it became Mark Spector Moon Knight. And then just a couple of years ago, I think back in 2006, 2005, 2006, you had just Moon Knight. And that most recent series is kind of the starting point for all subsequent Moon Knight stories, because we're really starting, with that, with the last Moon Knight series, you really started to see his kind of mental disintegration in a lot of ways. He was definitely a majorly fucked up individual, quite possibly schizophrenic. Maybe multiple personality disorder, because he did have, essentially, 4 separate personalities that he had. There was the, kind of the real him, which was Mark Spector, the mercenary, who eventually would become Moon Knight, but then he also parlayed that into, 2 other characters, which was Stephen Grant, a millionaire playboy, and Jake Lockley, kind of the hard-nosed, hard-edged cabbie. And I've always liked the character of Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is basically, it's not Marvel's answer to Batman. This is Marvel's answer to the Shadow, because the Shadow is a very similar character, because they have kind of like these agents that work with them, and they have this, and the personas that Moon Knight actually takes on are these personas that were very present in the work of the Shadow, because the Shadow, the Kent Allard was kind of a mercenary, and Lamont Cranston, the Lamont Cranston persona was a millionaire playboy. He had a cabbie that worked with him that they called Shrevey. Like I said, this is basically Marvel's answer to the Shadow. Basically what this is, Mark Spector is in New York, or I'm sorry, he's in LA, and he is he has basically created a TV series called Legend of the Khonshu, which is based on his own exploits. And you see a little bit of the origin story here in this issue. But he is met by Captain America, Wolverine, and Spider-Man on the roof of his building, whatever, and he is asked basically to be kind of like the go-to guy, the guy who's the hero in LA that they need, because obviously all of Marvel is based pretty much based in New York. So having a superhero in LA would be probably a good thing to have. Moon Knight, basically he starts patrolling again. This is he comes up against Mr. Hyde, who's one of those cool supervillains that I always kind of like, because he's always he's a little bit crazy, but he's still very kind of like making money oriented. He's not just he's not just the kind of crazed supervillain that just thrives on violence. That's just a perk for him. He goes toe to toe with him and almost takes him out. Moon Knight does, but it's all interrupted by this big kind of we don't know what. But it turns out that Mr. Hyde was trying to sell an Ultron, a model of an Ultron, a defunct model, but a model of an Ultron nonetheless. And when he brings it back to Cap and Wolverine and Spider-Man to talk about what exactly is going on, that's when you start to get a sense, okay, well, something is still really wrong up here for Moon Knight. Really wrong. I adored this issue. This is it's just so good, because it's Bendis. It's classic Bendis. This is where Bendis does his best work, I think. When it's smart, when it's loose, when it's not too heavy but not too light. Definitely does step into the darkness quite a bit here, and the dialogue is snap, crackle, pop. The action is strong, but it is very it's plot enhanced and character heavy. So these are all good things, and I love it when he gives even the most trivial of side characters kind of their own story. That's just so cool to me. So great issue, definitely the book of the week by far. Well, not by far. Secret Six was pretty fucking awesome. But anyway, so that wraps up my review section. Now we're going to go on to something else. I need your help. My subscribers, my viewers, my fans. There aren't too many of you, but I need your help. I'm looking to put together a contest of sorts. Basically, something that you, as my audience, will do for me that maybe will either A, boost my viewership, or just B, create something that I think or do something cool that's it's kind of original and kind of cool for me. And your reward will be that wherever you are, I will send you a pretty decent stack of comics. They're not going to be the most expensive comic books in the world. You might find, a couple gems or two in there. But that's kind of my thought. So you help me help you by letting me know maybe what ideas you might have, and if you're interested in that sort of thing. Maybe winning some comics. Not really winning. I mean, it's more of an exchange, really. Not really an exchange. Anyway, message me. I'll message you back, or just but always thumb up, thumb down, comment. Let me know you were here, and stay hungry, guys. It's comics. Comics is good food. So, well, for the brain anyway, I think little too heavy for the stomach. I'm such an idiot. My wife, if she were here right now, she'd be like, "You're such an idiot." So anyway, boys and girls, we will see you next time for the Shadow Gallery. Adieu. Good night.